Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to explore how to implement CQRS pattern using the ABP framework, but with a twist. We are doing it without using mediator or any other third-party library. A while back ago, I published an article to demonstrate how to implement CQRS in ABP-based application using mediator library, but recently mediator announced it's going commercial, and actually I broke down all details in post on my blog, which you can see here. I described the licensing change that is considering for the automapper, mediator, and mass transit libraries. And also, so naturally, a question rises, and should we start looking for any alternative to mediator? Actually, both yes and both no. If you don't want to, add another NuGet package into your solution and don't want to, depend on any third-party library, then you can use ABP Framework's own local event bus system, which is already powerful. It's already provided by ABP Framework with a powerful system, and it works beautifully for CQRS style messaging. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to leverage it in a real-world example. Before we dive deeper, let's quickly define what CQRS stands for. Actually, it's short for Common Query Responsibility Segregation. And this is an architectural pattern where you separate the responsibilities of reading and writing data. And that is, you handle comments which change state and queries which retrieve data through different paths. The core idea is, decouple these concerns to improve scalability, maintainability, and clarity in your application architecture. Okay, now let's talk about the event bus. At its core, event bus acts like a mediator, and it throws messages from a sender to a receiver, and very similar to what mediator actually provides behind the scene. And the cool part is AP provides a local event bus system, and so you don't need to, bring any external packages, and you don't need to depend any third-party library. And it's integrated into ABP Framework and works seamlessly. So whenever you create a new ABP-based application, so the all related configurations is already done, and you can directly use the local event bus system of ABP. And now let's see how it works in action. Okay, now let's create our application. I open the cursor code editor, and we can create a brand new ABP application using the ABP CLI. I will open the integrated terminal and we'll use the ABP new comments, and we'll set the UI as MVC and database provider as MongoDB. And this command actually will set up a modular ABP solution with a clean layered architecture, and it includes the MVC UI and uses MongoDB as a database provider. And if you examine the solution, you can see the each separated project and cleanly separated through each other. You can see the domain layer, you can see application layer, you can see MongoDB as the infrastructure layer, and also you can see our presentation layer as the web application, which is MVC Razor Pages application. Okay, our solution has been created right now, so we can directly create our own commands and queries, and we can demonstrate the latest CQRS. You can see the ABP's created layered solution in here, and you can see the domain layer, application layer, infrastructure layer as MongoDB, and web, the presentation layer in here as an MVC Razor Pages application. And this structure makes it easy to apply architectural patterns like CQRS. And actually, that's exactly what we'll do next. We will implement CQRS directly using ABP's built-in local event bus without any third-party library dependency. All right, let's begin with the command side, the part where we handle write operations. We'll create a custom event class under our application contracts project, and we can name it as create book comments. And this event can have two properties like name and price to be able to create a new book. Okay, let's assume that we have a book table in our database and it has two properties, name and price, that is required to create the related book entry in our database. So after we created our events, now we can create an event handler to react to when the create book command is published. We can define it in the application contract or application project, and actually let's create it in the application project. We will create the class called create book command handler. And this time we will implement iLocal event handler service of ABP, and in here we will pass the comment type as create book comment, and also we will register our services as a transient lifetime, like this one. We need to implement the iLocal event handler service in here, and let me add related namespaces. And now, whenever we publish the create book comment, then ABP's own local event bus system will work, and then it will hit this breakpoint, and all of our application logic will be run through in this method. So let's just return return the task as completed. We don't need to apply any logic, but normally you need to implement your logic to create a book in here. And at that point, we created our command and the related comment handler, but we noticed that we are implementing iLocal event handler and passing the generic type as create book comment. And this tells ABP to wire up this class to handle the related specific event. And inside the handler, we simply should insert the new book using the iBook repository. Actually, we can do that, but for the simplicity, let's just add related to do and return an completed task. And now we need to trigger this comment, right? And it is really simple. We need to have a controller or application service. And in our application service, we can inject the iLocal event bus and use the publish async method to dispatch the related event, related comment. Okay, let's actually first define our iBook app service interface under the application contracts project. We can create a new interface called iBook app service. And in here, we can have two methods like creating a book and like listing all of the books. Let me add related namespaces. And we already defined the create book command. I will also edit its namespace in here. And also we can return all of our books in a book DTO. Let's also create it in this namespace, like this one. We inherited from entity DTO, so it will give ID property to the book DTO class, and then we will have name, and we will have price in our case, like this one. And now we can open our application layer, and we can create book app service. And our class can inherit from application service to indicate that this is an application service and can implement iBook app service in here. Next up, we need to implement these two methods right now. In here, in the create async method, this is our comment. We need to dispatch related comment, right? At that point, we need to use ABP's iLocal events bus system, the service, and inject it. And in our create async method, the only thing we need to do is using await event pulse and publish async method and dispatch the related comment like this one. So this will publish the related comment, the related event, and then we will be able to handle the related comment in our own create book comment handler. And on the other side, actually, and this gives us a similar experience to mediator style comment handling, but we are using ABP's native infrastructure and no third-party dependencies included, and there is no licensing concerns. And at that point, actually, one thing that we should keep in mind that if we open our book app service, then you will notice that we only publish the related comment through the iLocal event bus service. But in our query, since ABP's iLocal event bus that publish async method is fire and forget style method, there is no return type. So if you are going to use a local event bus system of ABP as the mediator, then you can decouple your comments like this one. but you'll need to handle your query side operations separately. You need to define them in related app service in this case. For example, you can, define your get list async method like this one. You can, get your books from iBook repository and so on. So in that setup, you need to handle your queries in the app service, and you can decouple your comments only by using ABP's local event bus system. Okay, that is why in our example, we handled queries like get this async method in our case directly in the application service. So to summarize, commons are perfect fit for ABP's local event bus system. It is decoupled one way and works great for pushing changes into the system. And queries on the other end typically need to return data. And since ABP's local event bus system is not designed that way, it is like find and forget system. It is best to handle your use cases in the application service implementation in related class. So, if you prefer more structure, you need to integrate third-party query mediator library. But if it's okay for you to only decouple the query side, decouple the common side, and implement your queries in related app service, you can directly use this approach, and then you don't need to, depend on any third-party library. Okay, now to, see the CQRS implementation in action. I opened my application in Rider so we can debug it. And I've set some breakpoints in the book app service and create book command handler methods and run my application in the debug mode. So if we open the, if we open the Swagger, we can see the all endpoints in here. And if we scroll down, we can see the book section. And let's try to, send the create request. And let's call it 1984, and for the price let's make it 19. Okay, after I send a request to related service, as you can see it directly hit the related breakpoint in my book app service. And if I continue, you can see that it directly triggered the create book command handler, so I can apply my own logic in here and create my book. I can inject I repository pattern in here. I can pass the related book and give the related book ID as the primary key type and add my own book in here by using the insert async method. But to demonstrate it, we just returning it. And if we go back to our code again, you can see it returns 404, 204, which means the book is created. And if we go to the query side, then you can we can pass a filter in here. We can say 104, and when we execute it, it will return the related value. Okay, actually that's it from our CQRS implementation. And let's wrap it up with a quick recap. Mediator is going commercial, so which might lead some teams to consider removing it or look for good alternatives. And actually, you don't need to replace it with another package. And ABP Framework, as you know, offers a local event bus system, as we've seen like in the book app service in here. And that can handle common style messaging just like a mediator. And it's built in, easy to use, and fits naturally with ABP modular structure. You don't need any third-party library kicks in. So if you are using ABP, you already have everything you need for clean CQRS style architecture. There is no extra dependencies required. But if you need to, also separate your queries, and if you, want to decouple your queries into another mediator system, so you can check for any third-party library, and you can use it like you would do in a normal plain .NET application. But if this approach is, applicable for you, you can decouple your comments and define your queries in the related app service implementation, so you don't need any third-party libraries. Okay, that's it for today's video on implementing CQRS in ABP Framework without depending on any third-party library. And if you like this content, feel free to subscribe for more videos on ABP.NET, clean architecture, AI agents, and modern software practices. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.